Hi, everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? Everybody can hear me okay, I hope. If not, say something in the chat. Um, Let me say hello to some folks. Hi, Mary. Hi, Linda. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Ramon. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Karen. Hi, JW. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Kathy. Uh, hey, Colorado Hippie. And hi, Jamie. And Moonstone Girl. And Donna and Lightseeker and Liz and Angel. Okay, cool. Thanks. Thanks, Ramon. Debbie and um, Linda and oh, thanks, Ramon. I appreciate it. It's actually dirty. I need to wash it, but it'll work for now. Um, let's see. Uh, how are y'all doing tonight? Everybody's starting to get Christmas spirit. I've been working at it. I'm still crooked here. I don't know why. I'm still off center. Oh well. You can kind of see my little blinky lights up there. I'll put some lights on my panels behind me and try to get myself in the Christmas spirit. And I gotta decorate the tree. It's sitting out. I just haven't decorated it yet. Of course, it's been sitting out since last year when I took the ornaments off. I never put the tree up. It's still sitting there. Oh goodness. So I'm hoping I don't like zonk out on y'all too early tonight. It's been a long damn day, let me tell you. Um, I was up early. I've done one, two, three shows already, and plus working on promos and stuff. So I've been a little busy today. And so is everybody? Have y'all got your Christmas shopping done, or has nobody started yet? Yeah. Let's see here. Make sure I haven't missed anybody. If y'all want a card draw, let me know. Naughty or nice, either one. The Oracle decks I have out tonight are the Oracle of the Fairies. That's a good deck. I like that one. And I every week I somebody always asks for an angel card, so I took out the angel activation deck. And then of course we got the Listen Biatch and we got the Ruffle deck. So your choice. Just say what you want. And Bridges of Madison County. Oh my God, I remember that movie. I haven't seen that in eons. Wasn't was Robert Redford in that one? No, it wasn't Robert Redford, was it? I don't remember now. Wow, it's been a long time. And let's see here. Check it in, seeing what everybody's saying. Oh, hippie, I'm sorry you lost your cat. 21. Wow. Yeah, she's happy now, but it's hard when they first go. I had my cat Scuffy for uh, 15 years. I think he was 16 when he died. And he had gotten real sick there towards the end. So that last year, he just wasted away till he just looked like a sack of bones. And bless his heart, he was a cool cat. He really was. Um, he was given to me by my aunt, who gave him to me after my husband died. She said so I would have something to cuddle. I was like, okay, I wasn't really a cat person that much at the time. I mean, I always liked cats, but I just never had cats. We always had dogs, And so he was my first cat that I owned. And yeah, I was very attached to him. I hauled that damn cat back and forth across the country several times. He hated to travel. Some animals really dig out on it. He did not like it. I used to have to get knockout drugs from the vet for him and just knock him out, let him sleep for a couple of days. And I'm a bit soft on the volume. Okay. Is that a little better? All right. All right, Cherry, let's scroll the correct direction. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wore my red and green Christmas bells. I don't know if y'all can hear it. They actually jingle, jingle. I have to be careful. It drives me crazy. If I move my head too much, they'll start jangling on me. Let's see. Yes, please. If you have a question or want a card pull, put it in caps so I see it. Since it's just me, myself, and I tonight. Hey, Morgan. I'm working on doing up your thing for in response to your video. Morgan the Void. Morgan did an aura portrait for me, and it is absolutely fabulous. I could not get over how many points were just spot on. It was almost eerie. It was really, really good. So y'all check out Morgan and uh, give her a shout out if you're interested in that kind of thing. It was really cool. She filmed like her process, how she created the portrait and stuff, and that was really interesting to watch. You know, she did it. Yeah, you're right. Earrings, they really ring. Um, but yeah, my cat was like he looked like Garfield. Garfield the cat. He was a big, kind of a amber gold color with a big white front and white paws. He had the prettiest face. And oh, there you go. Okay, Morgan, we signed on under para artrits. I can't say that right, but it's doing aura portraits. I just can't get the word out. Um, and yeah, she's got my reading up there, and I've got to finish writing I've been working on writing the thing to it. So I just every time I rewatch it, I see something new. It's like, oh, I gotta add that. Oh, I gotta add that. So I've been enjoying it, and oh, JW, you make Christmas cards? What kind of Christmas cards? I used to do that back when I was in high school. I would make my own Christmas cards. Um, that was always fun. People would get them and just at first they would just kind of like, oh, Christmas card, that's nice. And then when they'd look at it, they'd be like, wait, where did you get this? And I'd be like, I made it for you. Then they would really dig out on it. So, um, oh, Walter and Ahmed, I kill you. That's Jeff Dunham. He's hilarious. Oh my goodness. And you know, he is the number one comedian in Saudi Arabia. Believe it or not, he makes horrific fun of Saudis with Ahmed the terrorist. Um, but he is the number one comedian over in Saudi Arabia. When I found that out, I thought that's just too funny. Um, Gabriel Iglesias, also known as Fluffy, he does stand up comedy as well as he's had a couple of like comedy shows that he's done. He was the DJ in Magic Mike, I think it was. Um, but he did a thing where he went to Saudi Arabia. He got hired to come out there and do a show. And when he was out there, they were, he was asked. They were telling him he was the number two comedian in Saudi Arabia. And when he was like, "Well, who's number one?" and they were like, "Jeff Dunham," and he was like, "Really? Oh my God, that's kind of wild." Um, okay, Sandy, I got you. Not a problem. Yeah, he is freaking hilarious. Both of them are. But I like watching stand-ups. And ventriloquists absolutely amaze me how they're able to speak and make all those sounds and change voice characters and stuff all without moving their lips. It's like I don't get how they get that done. It's kind of amazing. Um okay, Kathy P, I got you. And 25 years, Sandy? Wow. That's a long time. Hi, Linda. Hi, Jen. Are you sick? I hope you're feeling better. All right, Maureen, I got you. You used to until you had to work with them. Okay, Debbie, don't tell us. You're gonna have to spill the beans now. Um, and you got it, Miss Caroline. Um, yeah, my cat. That he was my last animal that was my soulmate. Now we have the little dog now. He's a Dorky. He's a Dachshund and a Yorkie mix. That's my son's dog. And then we have the big dog that sounds like he's going to eat you for lunch. That's Pup Up. He's my brother's dog. He's a lab and mutt mix. And then we have the cat, Minou, which is Cajun French for cat. I named my cat Cat. Um, she turned out to be my son's cat as well. She absolutely idolizes him. She'll get up under the crook of his neck and snuggle into his beard, and she'll just rub all over his face. And he's like, "Oh my God, this is too crazy." But he all right, y'all, hang with me. I'm scrolling back. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Um 12 cats. Wow, JW. And I like I said, we mostly had dogs growing up. We always had dogs. And I didn't really have an indoor pet cat until my aunt gave me Scuffy. And that was uh he became my baby big time. He would meow, he would say, "Mom, mom, mom, mom." He would just everybody that would hear him would say, "Is he saying mama?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, he is." So but so what kind of Christmas cards do you make, Jamie? JW? And do you like paint them or you do digital artwork on them or do you like um I'm fascinated with, I used, like I said, when I was in high school, I made them, and I would use templates. I had like templates I could use to trace to do the fancy calligraphy writing because I just couldn't do it freehanded. And I'm pretty much arts and crafts challenged, y'all. I'm not, I'm not very good at it. And but I like to watch other people create art. Um, I guess because I'm such a at doing it myself that um I don't ever oh sorry, okay, I was reading something. Um I'm just not an artsy craftsy kind of person. My mother could sew and quilt by hand. Some of the most beautiful work you'd ever see. She made all my prom gowns when I was in school. She made my wedding gown when I got married. I mean, she just had this unreal ability when it came to sewing stuff and making stuff like that. And I was banned from the sewing room when I was 12. I wasn't allowed back in except for fittings. That was it. Um, but and so I didn't really get into the art stuff. Now when my son was born, from the time he could hold a pencil or a crayon in his hand, he was drawing. And he was drawing like real stuff, and it looked like what he was drawing. It looked like what it was he was focused on. And then when he got a little older, he got into the Legos. Oh my God, we had buckets and buckets and buckets of Legos. That child could build anything with those damn Legos. I think the greatest thing that blew my mind that he created with his Legos was he was in, I don't know, third or fourth grade, maybe fifth grade, right in that third to fifth grade, right in that age range. And it was a wet, rainy Saturday, and he was driving me batshit crazy. And finally, I was like, just go to your room and don't come out until I call you. It's like I just can't handle you right now. And so he stomped off to his room, and I was doing laundry and dishes and whatnot. And after a while, it dawned on me he's been in his room for an awfully long time, and it's been really quiet. What's he doing in there? So I went to go check. He had taken one of the encyclopedias out because we had, back in the day when you bought encyclopedias, you didn't just Google stuff. We had bought him a set of scientific encyclopedias, and he found a picture of an offshore drilling rig in one of the books, and he decided, "Oh, I'm going to make that." It stood like almost 2 feet high, 2 feet tall. He recreated the entire rig that was in the picture with his Legos, movable cranes and all. I don't know how he did it. It blew me away. Um, to this day, I wish I had a picture of it. Um, that was back in the day before cell phones. Unless you had a camera with film in it, you missed a lot of pictures. Um, but my cat Scuffy, he'll come and sleep with me. I can get in bed late at night. And just about the time I'm starting to fall asleep, I'll feel the weight of, like, when your cat or your dog will jump up on the bed, and you feel that weight, the bed kind of dips. And he used to love to sleep over my feet. And I'll feel the weight of him laying on my feet. And when I sit up and look down, there's nothing there. It's just me, myself, and I in the bed. And but I can feel him whenever he comes and joins me. And yep, a dachshund plus a Yorkie equals a dorky. That's what they call them. Hey, Chris. And let's see. You had sepsis. Oh my goodness, Jen. Oh my God. Well, darling. Okay, y'all all put Jen Bowles on your prayer list. We got to get her completely well. That's scary. I almost lost a nephew to sepsis right after Hurricane Katrina. He survived the hurricane. He lives in Mississippi. But in the cleanup of them trying to clean up their property and everything, and of course the storm surge, and there was still water everywhere. And they don't know if it was just one of the microscopic bugs got through his skin, or if he cut himself and he was in all that brackish water and it made him sick. But he got sepsis and he was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. We almost lost him a couple of times. And so yeah, that stuff can be scary when you get that. I had a neighbor that had to have knee replacement surgery. And she went in, she had knee replacement. And about 2 weeks later, after she had gotten home, her legs started swelling up and she was getting like these red and white streaks up and down her leg. That's infection. And so, she got back to the hospital and they're not sure how it happened, but evidently either her body rejected the metal of the knee replacement or it wasn't as sterile as it should have been because it got all infected and they tried to kill the infection. I mean, they had her on like IV antibiotics and as well as oral antibiotics, and it just didn't help. They wound up having to go back in. They had to take all the hardware out of her knee, close it back up. It took almost 6 months for her knee to heal well enough that she could then retry the surgery to get get hardware put back in. And it happened a second time. And so they had to take it all out again. And she had to wait almost a year before they attempted to do it again. And because they wanted to make sure there was no trace of any kind of uh, infection in her body when they did it for the third time. The third time was the charm it took. But by the time she got her knee fixed and the hardware accepted and everything in her body, her other knee had gone out. And so then she had to start all over again with the other leg. It was like, oh my God, it was a mess. And yeah, JW, send some sample pictures. I can post those up on my community tab. And then that way, if people see it, they can contact you. If they want you to make them some Christmas cards. I mean, maybe not this year. It may not be. Probably don't have the time to do that. Um, but maybe for next year. And of course, we've got the New Year coming up. We got Mardi Gras coming up. Valentine's Day coming up. Easter's coming up. There's all kinds of an excuse to make cards. Uh, oh yeah, I do that all the time, Garden Genie. I forget to refresh, and I'm like, why am I replaying the same thing? Sometimes I'm not real bright when it comes to this stuff. Some digital and some from kids. Oh, that's cool, JW. All right, yeah, send me some pictures, and I'll post them, and we'll let everybody know that you do that. There's birthday cards, anniversary cards, graduation cards, all kinds of cards you can make. Um, we used to make the popcorn garland for the Christmas tree when I was a little girl. I can remember sitting and threading popcorn for what felt like hours. Um, and we would make the the paper chain kind where you would cut out strips of paper and then make them into a circle and tape them and then put the next one and then put the next one. And we used to do that too when I was little. Um, we couldn't afford the fancy stuff. We had to make our own ornaments. And all right, cool, JW. I'm looking forward to that. Hi, Rhapsody Rainbow. And so yeah, y'all remember. Oh, y'all keep Mel Dorr in your prayers. Mel, the Aloha Shirt Psychic. Um, he a family member passed away this weekend. Um, He had just spent Thanksgiving with them. It's his niece and her husband, I believe, is how it went. And he was like in his 30s, and he just up and died. I don't know. I haven't spoke with Mel to get details to know anymore. Just know that it probably hit them all pretty hard. And so y'all keep him in your prayers as well, because uh, especially his niece, because I mean, I lost my husband. I was 38, 39 when my husband died, and I was about to turn 40. I was 39, about to turn 40, and he was only 40, 45. He died before his 46th birthday. So he was far too young to die too. But it yeah, a hospital is a great place to go to die. This is coming from somebody who worked in the medical field for 35 plus years. I know some horror stories that I won't say because they work really hard. The doctors and nurses in hospitals, they bust their ass. They really do. They work very hard. And you get dumbasses who come in there that won't follow the rules, or you get people that come in and they're sick, or they get an infection like sepsis or something, and instead of it being legit they get sick. It's because they did stupid ass shit, that uh kept them from staying well. um yeah, Maureen, Linda G was the one that let everybody know about it. And I haven't even seen the video yet where she let people know. It might have been in her members meeting. A couple of people told me about it later that night, and normally Mel calls me because technically we're supposed to be doing a show Monday night, but I doubt if he's going to be in the headspace for it. So it may just be me and Arthur. Um, but yeah, y'all keep him in your prayers. Keep his niece in your prayers. I know how tough that is when you lose your spouse. It's like losing your other half. It took a while to kind of get past that. I mean, in fact, this past July 31st would have been my 41st wedding anniversary. So, and I've now been a widow longer than I was actually married, which is kind of weird when you think about it. Of course, my sisters in laws don't understand why I'm not remarried. They just can't wrap their head around it. I'm like, because I just don't. I haven't met anybody that makes me want to get married to them. I'm at the point where it's like, okay, if spirit wants me to be with somebody, he will park his ass at my front door knocking, saying, I'm here, because I'm not going looking. I'm telling you right now, I did the dating thing like a couple of years after my husband died. And it was more I just caved into pressure with everybody telling me, oh, you need to get back out there and start dating again, blah, blah, blah. And I did the dating thing for about a year. And then I was like, okay, I'm done with this crap. I just stopped at that point. It was like, it was not good. It just was like, I'm too old and set in my ways at that point. I wasn't really that old. I was in my 40s, but it was like, I'm not changing for somebody. I'm just not going to do it. My eyes are giving me fits tonight. It's like, yeah. That, and I still feel married most of the time. So that's kind of weird. I know, but um, yeah, Kathy, that's important to teach, not just nursing students, but, you know, um, student aides, nursing aides that come in and work there, and interns. I've seen doctors do some of the dumbest crap of not being sterile or safe because they're just their heads in another space and they're in and out of room after room after room. And it's like, okay, stop and take a break because if you get an infection on you, or if you know if you get something smeared on you and you're just popping from one person to the next, wow, y'all, my eyes giving me fits. Uh, it's like you're spreading those germs from person to person to person. That's not good. Um, oh, Moonstone Girl, ER nurse. Wow, you did see it all. That's that's a that's a rough job. Uh, Nurses have it the hardest. Doctors get all the money. Nurses get all the bad backs for it. Um, but yeah, it's it takes a lot of work working. I mean, and I worked on the administrative side in the medical field. Don't I wasn't a nurse or anything like that. I did paperwork. Okay, so but I had to deal with a lot of stuff. And the start of my medical career, I guess you could call it, I was a phlebotomist. I worked at a plasma lab, drawing blood from people, and after a while, you get tired of getting puked on and peed on and bled on, and it's like I always kept a spare set of clothes in the car because I never knew if there was going to be an accident at work. I think the worst accident I ever had on the job, besides from getting my back broke, that's how I got hurt was at that job. Um, but I was it was at a plasma lab, okay, and so uh, this was back in the day before the machines did it all, and you would have to like bleed out a pint of blood. It would go to the back area, put in a centrifuge, spun and separated. They would express the plasma out of the bag and just leave the blood in there, just the red blood cells. And then you would bring that back to whoever it belonged to. You had to match up, make sure you're giving it to the right person. You had to add saline solution to that, then spike it up on an IV pole and run it up so that the blood would go back in them. Because you can do plasma like 2 times in a 7-day time period. You can only give blood once every 8 weeks. It takes your body that long to replace it. Um, well, there was a deformed bag, I guess you could call it, flaw in the bag. And somebody else had already come and done all the other stuff. And I just had to verify because it was always a 2-person verification before the blood went back in them. And I went, I was the second person. I went double check this right person, right person. Yeah, okay, it's lined up. And I put the pole up. And just as I put the pole up and clicked it into place, the bottom of the bag split open and landed on top of my head. I got drenched in like a whole pint of blood and saline over the top of my head. I can remember just like standing there with my eyes closed and my mouth closed, trying not to breathe too hard. Because that's back when AIDS was really rampant. People were really scared about that stuff. And I can remember people running over and trying to wipe my face and telling me, "Don't open my eyes yet. Don't open my mouth yet." And uh, my boss had to call my husband to come bring me a change of clothes. And he asked her why, and she told him what happened. He says, "No, I'm going to come get her and bring her home so she could take a shower. And then if she feels like coming back to work, she will." And which I did because we were busy. But I had to go home and take a shower. He had to like line the car seat and everything with plastic garbage bags so I could just get in the car to sit down on the seat. Because I mean, I was drenched in blood. And that was gross. It really was. It wasn't too much longer. I moved over to just doing paperwork stuff. It was like, yeah, I don't want to do this part anymore. Um, I know the university where I work, also where I graduated from, we've got one of the top nursing programs in the country. Uh, excuse me, we get a lot of people that come from out of state, from out of country, that come to our university to go to our nursing school. And Jana, I like that. I'll not be a nurse or a purse. Yeah, thank you, darling. That's kind of where I'm at. It's like I'm not marrying another poor man. My back can't take it because I'm not working my ass off for that, and I'm not looking for somebody that I gotta be a mama to, or somebody that's got kids that they need someone to take care of. And what it's like, yeah, no. I raised my kids. I'm done with that. That's over, done with, gone. I've no desire for that part of it. And my son is 40 years old, and at this point, I don't think I'll ever have grandchildren. So, which that's cool. I can live with that. I mean, I sort of kind of have a granddaughter. She's like my surrogate granddaughter. My son and there was a young lady he dated in high school, and then after dating for a while, they discovered that it, their relationship was more like brother sister than boyfriend girlfriend. And so I was really close with her. He was really close with her parents. Um, and when she got married, I was living in Phoenix at the time, but she had sent me an invitation, and the people I worked with, it was like, wow, I can't believe she sent you a wedding invitation. I said, well, she's my baby girl. She's the little girl I never had, and that's just how I feel about her. And when she got pregnant with her daughter, I was her second phone call. The first was to her biological mother, her real mom, and then the second call was to me to tell me I was going to be a grandmother. So I'm Nana Sherry to my grandbaby, who's a cheerleader now. She's in second grade, third grade. Oh my God, that's terrible. I can't remember. She does cheerleading now and stuff. We just did a fundraiser for cheer camp, and that's kind of cool. Yeah, nurses make damn good money. I mean, um, and depending on where you go, you can make some big time money being a nurse. Um, yeah, pooped on, bled on, peed on, puked on. Sounds like teaching. Yeah, that's basically it. Oh, Moonstone Girl, I bet you could. I have to monitor myself that I don't step over the line, because that kind of stuff does not bother me. I can hear other people talk about it. It doesn't bother me at all. Um, and I tend to be very blunt when it comes to that kind of stuff, I guess, because I've always been around it. It's like, yeah, whatever. It just doesn't bother me. And there have been times I've said stuff and I've had people literally like back up a step and go, "Oh," I'm like, "Oh, sorry, too much TMI, right? Too much information." And but yeah, cost of living in Hawaii is through the roof. When my son was in the Navy, when he finally got orders and assigned to a ship, his home port was Pearl. Yeah, he was stationed at Pearl Harbor. Mama got a free trip to Hawaii, and but when he got back from his second deployment, he flew me out to Hawaii for a week. So that was cool. And all right, well, Jesus, we've been on for 40 minutes and I ain't done nothing but talk. All right, I'm still trying to catch up in the chat. Um, yeah, nurses see it all. Cool, JW. Oh, cool. You're on Blue Sky. Did you connect with me? I think I already connected with you. I don't know. Some people don't have the same name, on different social media, and so I have to guess sometimes. It's because it's like you'll see something, you'll say, they'll say something to me, and I'm like, that sounds like so and so, but I'm not for sure. So, uh, yeah, my husband was 6 years older than me, and he would have been. Let's see, I just turned 63, so he would have been 69. And oh, Kathy P, long COVID. Mm, yeah, my cousin, her husband has long COVID, and he's still 2 years have gone by, and he still has to keep an oxygen tank strapped to him. It just fried his lungs out big time, and he wasn't a smoker or anything like that. So, um, we'll do hippie. I got you. Uh, oh goodness, excuse me. Yeah, I watch medical surgeries and stuff on TV. My son gets sick of the stomach. Like I watch Dr. Pimple Popper sometimes. She does some of those surgeries when she cuts out those cysts and stuff on people. To me, it's fascinating. Other people are like, "Oh, that's so gross." And I'll check it, JW. I'll check my Blue Sky after we get off. Um, Undertaker, yeah, it's like that stuff never bothered me. Uh, I took a class my senior year in college. I I was on the waiting list for 3 semesters to get into this class called Death and Dying. It was a sociology class. And one of the trips that we made that the teacher took her students to every semester was we would have a field trip. These are college kids, right? We got to go on field trips too. We would have a field trip to the coroner's office, to the city morgue, and the the year semester I was in the class, we went, and the coroner wasn't there. They were out on a call, so it was like their assistant or whoever was walking us through and showing us all the different things they do, and it's really fascinating if you got the stomach for it. Um, and at one point, somebody said, "Well, what's in there?" It looked like a big freezer, like you see in a grocery store. He says, "Oh, that's where we stack them up." And he like cranks the door open, and it was like wall to wall bodies stacked on top of each other. There must have been 20 bodies in that damn room, all stacked up, and two people fainted in the class right then and there. They just went hit the ground. And and he was like, "Oops, sorry." Everybody was like, "I can't believe they passed out." But oh yeah, I made it all the way to the end of the list. Finally. Took me long enough. All right. So yeah, I have a very morbid sense of humor. I laugh at stuff that most people are like, "Oh my god," and I'll be splitting the gut just laughing at it. I think it's hilarious. When I lived in Phoenix, I worked for a medical testing lab, and we had a histology department where they would have just body parts that they would be doing research on. Like you could walk in the room and there'd be a foot sitting on the table, or there'd be a couple of fingers laying there, or there'd be just odd body parts would just that one body part would be laying out, um, so that they could study it for whatever, especially if it was like cancer related or any kind of disease or something. And the whole when you went down that hallway to where their department was, you got about 5 steps into the hallway, and you could smell the formaldehyde. It was so strong it would nearly knock you out. And I got so used to smelling it that now I don't even notice the smell if I'm in a hospital or something. I don't even smell it anymore because I got so used to it. All right. Let's see here. Are we doing a second Halloween this year? Sure, why not? Um, look, y'all want to talk second Halloween? Where is it? I got a Christmas gift in the mail yesterday, and this is what I got: the Horror Terror. It's really cool too. So it's like now I got to wait a whole damn year before I can use it. Not really. I'll use it anyway. Okay, let's see. Who have I got here? All right, Garden Genie and Miss Caroline. It's your member, so you get to go top of the line. A nice reading tonight. Okay, we can do that. We're going to pull from Oracle of the Fairies. This is a really cool deck. I like that. I got you, Morgan. All right, let's make sure. I got some stories, Sandy. I'm telling you, I've done all kinds of crap in my life. I got some stories I could tell. I know a friend of mine a couple of years back said, "You should write a book, you know. It would be fascinating." And I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, nobody wants to hear about my life. And she'd be like, "Oh no." She's like, "You've done so many things. Most people would just be like, oh my God." Oh, really, Maureen? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. What am I reading on? Caroline. Oh, I drew for you moon energy. Let's see what it says. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. There you go. Hey, you didn't tell me. How did you meet with the possible roomie yet? And if so, how did that go? You gotta fill us in. Anyway, so there's your card. That's beautiful. And all right. We'll have to do a story night one night and just do stories. And okay, let's see. Rhapsody and Rainbow, you're next because you're a member. Membership has privileges, y'all. And let's see. More sugar than spice. Okay, you got it. Let's get this. Oh, that's cool, Caroline. See, I told you all of us praying about that because I mentioned it on a couple of shows. So, yeah, moon energy for the full moon. You got it. So, because I mentioned it to a few people that I was, when I was on air, and oh, she likes tarot. Oh, that's even better. That's so nice when you meet somebody that's same wavelength as you. All right, Rhapsody in Blue. I drew for you motivation. Isn't that a gorgeous card? And it says, when spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say get busy and do it. So, whatever you've been thinking about getting done, now's the time to do it. So, that's great. And Yeah, tomorrow is the official full moon date, but hi, Pat. And so yeah, so if y'all want an oracle card or a naughty card, just put it in the chat. Put it in caps so I don't miss it. And okay, let's see. Sandy, you're up. Pull a card. If it's safe for me to buy a new used car. If you're going to buy one, do it before January 20th. Because once he gets inaugurated, one of the first things he's going to do is throw out tariffs, the dum-dum. And that's going to make everything go sky high in price. I would just say if you buy a used car, especially if you buy it from a dealership or something, make sure that you buy an extended warranty for it. That way, if 6 months down the road the motor blows, you're not paying for a car that you can't drive because the motor's blown in it. That actually happened to me. Fortunately, somebody had told me about make sure you get the extended warranty, and I did. It cost me $50 for them to have to replace the whole motor in my car. So I was very thankful for that move. And sure, Chris, you got it. And okay. Let's see here, Sandy. Oh, pull for you protection. And that's what a good safe car for you provides is protection. And it says, the fairies of protection are shielding you with a magical fairy ring of love and light. Practice psychic protection before embarking upon any spiritual work. I would say invoke protection with anything that you're going to do. Anything that you want to go out and do or get done, say a little prayer of protection first, just so that they're right there with you. And good night, Linda. Have a good evening. Hey, Marby. All right. Okay. So let's see. Who's next is Maureen. Maureen's a member, so she goes to the front of the line. And she would like a nice card. So, Maureen, do you still live in England or do you live here now? I guess I'm being nosy. I'm just always curious when people live in other countries. Is it like, it's kind of cool to. I like learning about the different cultures. Hi, Eliza. Yes. Yes, tomorrow's an important date because Mercury goes back direct tomorrow. Of course, you still have shadow time. So, for maybe the next week or so, you're still going to get retrograde energy, from what I understand. Okay, in Pennsylvania. Yeah, my ancestors are Scots, Welsh, Irish, English, French, Dutch, and Cherokee. According to a great aunt who spent 50 plus years of her life researching the family tree. And she traced us all the way back to the 1300s. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. She used to do genealogy traces for um what's the name of that genealogy.com? It's the one that first came out before like DNA 123 and all that stuff came out. And she used to do big jobs for them. Okay, Maureen. Oh, I pulled for you Purity. Hear that? With a unicorn. It says, always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. I don't know what your question is, but it's in your heart. So I like that. That's nice. Okay. Let's see here. Ancestry.com. That's it. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, my aunt used to do, technically she was my great aunt. But she used to she would do these big traces, for people trying to track down family members and stuff. It was really kind of cool. Um, yeah, Eliza could probably explain it better, but from what I understand, with Mercury retrograde is usually not a good time to make legal decisions, sign off on paperwork, stuff like that, because it can go wonky on you. But technically, Mercury goes back direct tomorrow. And then we have solstice. Winter solstice is next Saturday. So that's a big Wiccan and pagan holiday. And that's supposed to have clear a thing, if memory serves. That's supposed to clear energy and stuff for a better, for like more positive energy coming up in the future. So I would just, if you do anything that requires legal paperwork, I would go over it with a fine tooth comb. Make sure you read all the small print before you sign on the dotted line, just to protect yourself. Remember, the word of the day is CYA. Cover your ass. So you want to make sure that you don't. Yeah, my great aunt found us. She traced us back to the American Revolution, so we know that we had family there. We also had family in the Civil War, um, and not on the good side. We owned plantations evidently at one time and slaves, so it's like, well, that's not cool, but I had no control over it. That was hundreds of years ago. Um, and then from she also traced us. There's a thing in Texas they call the Old 300, and that was the first 300 landowners in Texas when Texas got annexed and became a state. The U.S. government gave out 300 deeds of property for settlers to go to and settle that property. And it was usually hundreds or thousands of acres you would get with these deeds. And one of our ancestors was one of the members, one of the people that got, um, was one of the 300. They got the original. Like, I got all kinds of relatives that were rich back in the day. It's like, what, they couldn't have saved any of that damn money and sent it down the line for us for today? Instead, we have to be poor. Oh, well. That's all right. I don't mind. Oh, you have heard of the Texas 300. There's actually a book you can get called The Old 300 or Texas 300. Uh, I don't remember the name of the book now, but my aunt was showing me the book the last time we went and saw her before my mom died. And so that was kind of cool because evidently we're listed in the book, or whatever family member that was going back. I'm sure a different last name. I don't remember if it was the Foreman name or if it was the Manning name. I guess it would just depend. Um, or they might have been up to Rumsey by that point. Who knows? That's all on my mother's side of the family. And let's see. All right. Next up, Marby. Marby's a member, so she gets to go next. And she would love an oracle card. You got it, my dear. And yeah, Maureen, it's very interesting. I used to not really care about history. And when I was 12, which that was back in the 70s, in the early 70s, early to mid 70s, um, when the ERA, Equal Rights Amendment, all that stuff was real big, and women were trying to get equal rights, and of course the Civil Rights Act had just been passed, and so there was still a lot of turmoil, a lot of upheaval, um, and of course Dr. King had been killed by that point. Bobby Kennedy had been killed. JFK had been killed. So there was a lot of people that just, we think things are bad today. They thought it the same thing back then. Um, anyway, they well, crap. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, history. Okay, it's back. I've been doing that all day. Anyway, I first got interested in history when I was about 12, and a friend, an older lady used to come over to the house and help my mom work um, on stuff for marches and everything for the Equal Rights Amendment. And she was over one night, and it was a warm night, and she took her sweater off because she always wore a long sleeve sweater. And when she took her sweater off, I saw a tattoo on her arm, and it just fascinated me because I had, up to that point in my life, I had never seen a woman with a tattoo. I'd only seen men with tattoos. And so I asked her, oh my God, you got a tattoo on your arm, what does it mean? And she kind of looked at my mom, and my mom shook her head yes, and she turned around and she proceeded to tell me that she was the only surviving member of her entire family from Auschwitz. Everyone else had been put to death there. Um, Fortunately, the death camp was liberated by the Americans before they could get rid of everybody, and she was one of the lucky ones, and she survived. But she still had that tattoo, and I mean, even back then, there was procedures you could do to remove a tattoo. There was makeup you could put. Some people would hide it, and she wore a long sleeve shirt all the time just because she didn't want people staring at her. But she didn't do anything to permanently remove the tattoo because, as she said, it was her only tie to her family. I mean, think about that for a minute. That's kind of warped, when the only tie you have to your family is surviving a damn concentration camp. Um, but she just proceeded to tell me about life in Auschwitz and the things that were done to them and the things that they went through. And it was horrifying and fascinating all at the same time. It was like at that point, that's when I got interested in learning history. Um, okay, Marby. Oh, here we go. This should be the mantra for my life. It says, go outside. That's a pretty picture. It says, it's time to go outside. Time, tune in to the powerful peace of nature wherever you are and feel at one with your habitat. I don't have enough light on. That's my problem. I can't see the stupid cards. Okay, that's a little better. Anyway, so there's your card. Go outside, get grounded, talk to Mother Nature. She'll talk back. It's actually kind of cool when it happens. But so yeah, that's when I got my history. That's when I got bit by the history bug to learn about. Um, because it was no longer just a story in a book. I met a real live, living, breathing, blood and guts person that was there and survived it, and I just, it's like over the years I've thought back to it as I learned more and more stuff about what these people endured. Um, and it's like, man, that's really rough to think that you could survive something like that. I mean, just the fact that you survived it is um yeah, Caroline, you're right. That is a good history lesson for now. That's part of our problem was public education quit teaching history, you know. It's like you get American history, but they quit kind of teaching world history. You don't get world history anymore, and they don't teach you about kids today don't get taught about their own government and how the government works, how it functions, what the different segments of it are, and why they were set up that way. And when you're not taught history, it's real easy to lie and persuade you to go against your own best interest simply because you don't know any better. All you know is what they're telling you. And how are you going to know that it's the truth or a lie if you don't know what the history is? Um, so yeah, I love to. Sure, Emily. I'm doing one card pulls, an oracle card or a naughty card. Um, just put in the chat what kind of card you want, and yeah, I mean, well, for instance, um, now that we have everyone is aware of and knows about um, the attack on Black Wall Street there in Texas in the 40s, 30s, 40s, something like that. Um, I had never even heard of that. And I grew up half my life in Texas. I never heard about that. And it wasn't until a TV show on Netflix, I think it was. The premise of that show was based loosely off of that historical fact of the day that all of these people got mowed down, killed, whatnot, all simply because they had a different skin color and they had the audacity to be successful and run their part of town successfully. Their people were buying homes. They were buying cars. They had good paying jobs. Um, and were overall doing far better economically than the white people were in that town. And therein lies the rub. You got people getting jealous of others who are working hard and they don't see it. You know, they think you're being given something. It's like, no, hell no. I've earned every single stripe, because I busted my ass to get there. Um, yeah, Linda, that's a sad movie. It really is. Watchmen, thank you, Rhapsody. That's right. I couldn't think of the name of the show. I could see the actress, but I couldn't think of the name of the show. Um, Hi, Alan Wheels. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I've learned more about our on history in the last 20 years, 30 years after school, that sparked my interest. It's yeah, it's very important. I mean, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Hence why we're going through the crap we're going through today. My opinion only for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Um, okay, Kathy P, I got you now. And a nice card. We're gonna do that right now. Yeah, Black Wall Street. The Tulsa, that's where it was. I was thinking it was Texas. It was Tulsa. Um, yeah, now Emmett Till, I remember learning about that in school. And I think it's just because of where I lived, it was still a fresh memory. There were people that still talked about it. Um, so, I knew about Emmett Till. And boy, wasn't his mother courageous. She's the one that insisted that he have an open casket. She said so everybody could come and see what they did to her baby. I can't imagine the condition his body was in. I can't imagine walking by a coffin and seeing that and not being disturbed on a very deep level about that. Um, but let's see here. All right, Kathy, thank you for being so patient. I drew for you Precious Time. And it says, the fairy of time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. I'll get it out right in a minute. So, yeah, time is precious. Don't let it get away from you. Don't let it rob you of creating a memory. Um, because that can be very liberating when you know the past, you know the history, you know what happened, and so you're able to um, make smart and calculated decisions in the here and now today because you know what happened before. And we're nothing if not gotcha, Karen, and hello and welcome. Um, yeah, there was stuff. One of the things that set off the civil rights movement, and this was I don't remember if it was Alabama or Georgia, and that was the 4 little girls killed in the church bombing. There were KK members who, um, Kathy, I read your card, didn't I? Yeah, I read her card. Okay. Um, there were 4 little black girls who had gone to the church, their corner church, to practice. They were in the choir, I think it was, and some young KKK members had planted bombs in the church to go off to teach the black man a lesson, to stay in your place and not cross the line, which is what a lot of these idiots spout off and preach. Well, those little girls were inside that church and they were very unalived on the spot. Um, and it was that, and then following on the heels of that was Emmett Till, and then you had the March to Selma, where protesters were marching across the Pettus Bridge, and they were peaceful. They weren't rioting. They didn't have weapons on them. Nothing. They were peaceful protesters, and the governor unleashed holy hell on them. You know, back in the day, a lot of cops still rode horses and whatnot, just because they could maneuver easily through town and traffic. Um, and there were people that were almost beat to death on that bridge. And the following weekend, they showed up again the second time to march, in protest from the treatment they had the first time. Juxtapose that against 2019, 2020. I think it was before COVID hit, when you had the protesters on, there by the White House, uh, who were protesting 45, and he had the mall area there. He had it cleared so he could walk across the street and hold a Bible upside down as a stage prop to take a promotional picture. Um, and we're very lucky that the generals and stuff in charge of the military at that time let it be known that no, you don't pull the trigger. You're not attacking these people. These are fellow Americans, your brothers and sisters. But of course, some cops get off on that kind of nonsense, and so things got a little out of hand. Um, but 45 told one of his generals, "Well, just shoot them so that they're not in the way, and I can do my little photo op." He was wanting his military to go out there and shoot innocent American protesters who were peacefully protesting, and he was trying to give the order for them to go get shot because he wanted to do something and they were in his way. Tell me that's a real brave man. Um, so yeah, uh, and now here we are repeating the same steps that we went through in the 50s and the 60s. And I'm like, I did this once already. I used to go march with my mom, so I remember. And it's like, I've done this. And now here I am. I'm 63 years old and I'm having to do it again. I have less rights today than I did a year ago. So, um, yeah, it's just, I don't see them setting rules saying that men can't have vasectomies or can't privately entertain themselves in the bathroom or wherever, because every sperm that dies is a child, don't you know? if you go with their logic. But yeah, exactly, Caroline. We have less rights today than we did when we were teenagers, and that's sad. That is really sad. That's right, Aileen. He was. He was one of the protesters. You actually see him tripping and falling over an older black woman who lost her balance and fell down in the crowd as they were rushing them, and he fell down over her, and the cops were on him like white on rye, and they literally beat him to within an inch of his life. And he showed up the next weekend when they went back to protest again. I stop and look at that sometimes, and God, what an awesome man he was, and think, would I have had the courage to have gotten back up and gone back to that bridge a week later, knowing damn well that there's a real good chance they're going to beat me to death? And I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. And that's what happens when we don't learn our history. We don't know what happened in the past. We repeat it, and nobody's the wiser. Okay, hippie, I got you. Here we go. I will. Let's see. I'm not real good with the pet thing. I just don't seem to have the ability to really tune into them yet. I'm going to pick Mark's brain in a couple of weeks. He's going to be on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve day. I forget which day it is. Because I'm on vacation for 2 weeks, so I can actually do like daytime shows, which would be nice. That's right. Every sperm is sacred, JW. But it's always the women's fault that there's a baby. Man didn't have nothing to do with it. All right, Hip, we got you. Ooh, I pulled for you divination. I like that. It says, embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. I like that. Hi, Wendy. Welcome. All right. I mean, both of my grandfathers fought World War II. One was in the Army and fought in Europe, and one was in the Navy and fought in the Pacific. So, uh, my brother was served in the military in the National Guard. My son did 5 years in the Navy. My late husband was in the Navy. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say we're a military family. All right, Hip, let's see what we got here. Don't you love this picture? Journey. Your cat told you to pull a card on you becoming a pet psychic. And what do I pull? I pull a fairy with a rabbit, a magical rabbit. That's pretty awesome. It says it's time to prepare for a journey. It may be impromptu or planned. Either way, make sure you're ready when the time comes. Pack your passport now. Or maybe a lot of us packing passports. Well, some of us, like me, are stuck here because we don't have a passport, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, y'all give me half a second. I am freezing my ass off because they turned the damn air conditioner on. And I'm sitting here trying not to have my teeth chatter. So give me a second while I go turn the unit off, and I'll be right back. All right, brr. God, I got chills. They got me cold. I was sitting here, my teeth were ready to start chattering. It's like, damn, they got the damn AC on. It's cold outside and they turn the AC on here. That's what happens when you live with gamers. They're all on their computers, especially my nephew who doesn't sit down at the computer. He stands up. He's in constant movement. When I don't know how he can focus on anything. Um, oh my goodness. So now I'm trying to warm up. Might have to go grab my blanket in a minute. Oh, wow, hippie, that's cool. That's cool. She was chasing bunnies, and what do we show? A damn rabbit. So that that's synchronicity right there. You got that right. Um, wait, what's this Jana said? I tell you, we've got a whole generation of kids that are going to grow up hating us because we really F things up so bad. All right, Morgan, you're up, my darling. A card, you betcha. That's okay, Wendy. We get up in the hundreds too here in Louisiana. It gets really hot in the summertime, and we're in the swamp to top it off. So it's not like a dry heat like you get out west. It's wet and muggy, and you can't breathe, and it can suck. Yeah, but I can deal with the heat much better than I can deal with the cold. And I mean, in the summertime, I have to go outside to thaw out because they'll have the AC cranked down so low. Be like, guys, we don't put it on 65. That's too cold. But they still freeze me out. Okay, Morgan. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Pulled for you, inner child. Is that not a great picture? And it says, the fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of us try to do things that are silly and fun, and then we hurt ourselves in the process. Oh, thank you, hippie. That's so sweet. All righty, let's see who we got next. Chris, you're up. Chris needs an oracle card. Yay. Yeah, because I'm like down in the bayou, y'all. Technically, I'm only 30 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, but that's only if I could go in a straight line from where I am to where the Gulf of Mexico is. It's a lot further to actually get there because you're having to drive around canals and bogs and swamps and everything else before you get down there to the coast. You done put in 100+ miles to get down there. All right, Chris, let's see what you got. Oh, I like this. Manifestation. It says, be very honest and clear about what you wish to manifest in your life. Now write it down on paper. Manifestation. Step 1. Yeah, there we go. And tomorrow night's a full moon. That's the best time to do some manifesting, y'all, and do yourself a little moon ritual and focus on the things that you want in your life, not what you don't want. Because then that's all spirit hears and it'll send you that. But yeah, JW, we are a lot like except when we hit summer and dying to death, y'all are freezing your asses off over there. Dr. Ann was on with me earlier. She's in New Zealand, and That was when we were talking about the drones that are everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, I think they're a little more than just drones, but that's my opinion. Okay, Chris, look in a book. I like that. You know what I want? I want one of those Snoop on a stoop. Have you seen that? It's like a Snoop Dogg that's sitting on a stoop, like a concrete porch stoop, and they got it made up like a Christmas ornament now. Snoop on a stoop. It's like, I want that. All right, it says, look in a book. Whatever your question right now, you'll find the answer in a book. The words you find will bring the insights you seek. Oh, that's interesting. And another reason why we shouldn't ban books. How you going to learn if you don't have any books to learn with, right? Oh, my goodness. So, there we go. Chris, I hope that resonated with you a little bit. Let's see what else we got here. Now, this is a really cool deck. This is uh, Oracle of the Fairies by Karen Kay. It's beautiful artwork on them, and I love the message with them. They're kind of big and hard to shuffle, but I started to get the pocket edition, but then I changed my mind at the last minute. Oh, that was a wire. Okay. All right, let's see. Karen, you are up. A nice card, please. Yeah, you got that right, Caroline. What you gonna do when the lights go out? No internet, no power, probably no cell service in a lot of areas. Back when I was in high school, I read this book, and I don't remember the author, but the name of the book was called Alas, ALAS, comma, Babylon. Alas, Babylon. And it was a book about this young man who still lived in his hometown. And I don't remember what it was he did, but he was now rich, had money and stuff. And, but he was single. He didn't have like a wife or a girlfriend or anything. And his brother was in the military and worked for the Pentagon. And when they were old enough to understand what they were doing, and the brother was getting ready to go off to the military, they made a pact with each other that if anything that would be the end of us was to happen, he would send a message, and it would simply say, Alas, Babylon. Which I think in the book it referenced that terminology from another book or something like that. Um, and one morning he wakes up to a message from his brother saying, Alas, Babylon, which meant go get all the crap you can get and hoard as much as you can. And so he went out when he got the message from his brother. Of course, he couldn't get back in touch with his brother, but there you go. He went like to the grocery stores and bought everything he could think of to buy that wasn't perishable. Because in the horizon, a lot of them had seen someone had dropped a nuclear bomb on us. And so now we were in a nuclear arms aggressive fighting. Oh, I'm getting leg cramps. Sorry, y'all. And so that was like their little message to one another that the end is near, right? And so the book talks about this young man, laying in supplies, and then somehow a young woman and her brother and another family member, I think it was, wound up. Oh, it was his sister-in-law. That's who it was. It was his brother's wife and her kids, and then a couple of local people that all went and stayed with him in his big fancy house, which didn't do him a whole hell of a lot of good because you can't cook on a stove that doesn't turn on because there's no power, right? Um, so there was a lot of um, that kind of back and forth in the bunker thing, and what to do. And so, uh, oh, thank you, Carolyn. This is Marina had new T-shirts made up for the sisters and sent us all one. So, but it's the only bright green Christmassy colored shirt that I have, and so Fort Repose, Florida. That's right. JW, did you read the book or did you Google it? I read the book when I was 15 and it scared the living shit out of me, y'all. Pardon my French. But then I started thinking about it. Who was it that I just had up on the screen that I was supposed to be drawing a card for? Doggone it. I accidentally bumped it and clicked and it disappeared. Y'all gonna have to tell me who did I just click off that I didn't read for yet. Karen, it was for you. Okay. Thank you. I knew I had put somebody up and I was going back to look and I just clicked the wrong spot and it zapped you. I pulled for you, Inner Child. This is the second time this card's come up tonight. It says the fairies of playfulness remind you to take aim to enhance your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. Well, that takes half the fun out of it. I gotta stay safe, what's the point? Um, but yeah, so that's what that book was about. It was a really good book. And at that stage of my life, I wasn't really into science fiction stuff. But a friend of mine talked me into reading it. Oh, wow. I think I still have that book somewhere in the house. It may be packed in a box. I'm not sure. But let's roll back up over here. But Karen, did I read for you? Did I read her card? Oh my God, I'm like losing my mind tonight. Um, I am so totally losing it tonight. And yes, I did read. Okay, thank you. I was like, oh my God, did I forget? Well, y'all, we've been at this an hour and 40 minutes. We got everybody pulled and read. Yay. And I have talked y'all's ears off with all kinds of boring information. But hi Fran. Can you tell me anything I should know? Yeah, get the hell out of that relationship. I just heard it real clear as a bell. Get out. So, it's weird when it does that. It's a really weird feeling. Suddenly you hear this. It's like you hear a voice, but you don't hear a voice. It's weird. It's like just boom, the thought is there, and it's so yeah, it's just strange. Um, but yeah, 1:45 for y'all. It's 12:45 for me, and people over on the West Coast got it easy. It's only like 10 something there, so Um, okay, Karen. I pulled for you Nature's Signs. And it says, be receptive to the subtle measures, to the subtle messages from from, blip, blip, blip. Let me start over. Be receptive to the subtle messages from what does that say? From, Jesus, I can't read the word. Nature. Okay, try this again, Sherry. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need only open our hearts and minds. That's very true. Nature will give you a good talking to, whether if it's good or bad. So that's very true. Um, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I know this is like really rude me having to stand up and do this, but sometimes my legs, I have that restless leg syndrome, and I actually have this cute itty bitty pill that I have to take for it every night. But I can't take it right now, or I would have fell asleep on y'all because it'll knock you out. Boom. Um. So, oh, Connie, hippie, I know you're missing your baby, your fur baby. That's rough. That's rough. Well, that looks like that's it. We got everybody. Yay! And if y'all have any questions or something, shoot me an email. If you're interested in a reading, shoot me an email. I can send you the price list and we can talk from there and get you set up. And Miss Mary Sunshine was missed. Is that what you're saying, Caroline? I'm not understanding what you're saying. Or is that a form of autism that he has? Is that he has Asperger's? That's my nephew, and like I said, he's like a jumping bean, man. That kid goes nonstop. Oh my goodness, he makes me tired. He makes me tired just listening to him some nights. I guess I don't want to just stare at the top of my head. Sorry. Um, yes, Gene, we were talking about Alas Babylon. I was using it as an example because when I was 15, I read the book and it made a very strong impression on me. And ever since, whenever I have control of where I live, I always choose to be in a first strike zone. People are like, why would you want that? It's like, because I don't want to be here the day after. That's why. Um, oh, guys coming in. Yeah, hippie, I need to get one of those. I actually had a little riser that you could put your monitor on so that you could stand upright. But then y'all lose half my head here because of the camera. Oh my goodness. But I missed you, Mary Starshine. Did I pull for you already or not? Oh my god, I'm losing my mind tonight. I don't remember what I've done and what I haven't done. But I will pull for you right now. No, Emily, I didn't call anybody. I'm online. My phone can't handle that, even though I'm not on YouTube yet. All right, that's a little too much light. There we go. All right. Mary, that's who it was. Oh, I pulled for you wisdom, and it says, have you ever been told that you're wise beyond your years? Now is the time to call upon your inner family wisdom. Now is the time to call upon your inner fairy wisdom to help when the world is more challenging. I don't know why they would do that, but so let's see. Yeah, I take magnesium too, and now I take a medicine for it because it wasn't helping. Um, so you're welcome. You're welcome, Jana. Yeah, if I'm gonna watch football, it's gonna be the Saints. I'm just biased like that. But if it's baseball, then I watch TNT. I think it's called now. It's was part of what's his name's residence at one time, and yeah, Christine wasn't much better, Maureen. That was a pretty good one. Um, well, that's it, y'all. We got through all of our questions and requests. I am starting to fall on my ass, and I need to take my medicine, which means I will definitely be out for the count first thing in the morning. And yeah, that was a good book. I liked that book. You know, I knew people that had the Hobbit books, all the different books, and I picked them up and scanned them over the years, like when I was a teenager and stuff. And I just don't see the fascination with those particular kinds of cards. They just don't resonate with me. So it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. And um, yeah, I take the magnesium, and I take what they call ropinipol. It's a prescription med for it. And I'm just really tired at this point. It's been a long damn day. It really has. Um, I'm gonna have to double check my password again. It's telling me the password doesn't work, which means anybody in the house could change it, but you have to get permissions to keep it. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Lindsay, did I miss you? Oh, did I not read it? Wisdom. It was sitting out and I forgot to read it. Um, it says, have you ever been told that you're wise beyond your years? Now is the time to call upon your inner fairy wisdom to help you with a challenge. That's good. I like that. All right. Now, did I get everybody? I didn't miss anyone, did I? Yeah, I remember reading Tolkien in high school. It was like required reading that we had to read. Um, one of the one of the pirate songs, and I don't remember which one it was now. Um, but it's the same one that the acapella group I like voice play listens to. Um, right now I've been I just finished rewatching the Lord of the Rings trilogy the other day. It was on. I thought, okay, why not? I didn't really get to watch it. It was more like I was listening to it, and every now and again when I could buzz over to the computer, I could chat, say hello to everybody. Oh, a message from your auntie that has passed. Does your auntie have a name? It might make it easier. Um, I keep hearing it. I'm okay. Everything is okay now. Uh, yeah, I think we're gonna do fine. I think you're gonna do fine. I mean, okay, y'all. I'm not picking up anything else on that. Sorry. That's all I got was that little bitty blurb. Uh, Sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. I'm still learning to control the flap, as Sunsaki Jean calls it. Just flip it open and flip it shut. It's easier said than done. Um, yeah, I don't know if she kept that. If she kept the subscription going for that show, which shit, I would draw a blank now. Oh well, I'll just call it the shit show because I can't remember. And thank y'all for coming and hanging out with me tonight. This has been fun. Um, Sorry, I got the EBGBs a little bit with my legs there. It's like I had to move around for a minute, and I need to get me one of those foot rests that you can like do exercises while you're on camera doing things. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. So, all right, guys. Well, let's see. Coming up. Oh, you know what? Let me try something real quick. Okay, I don't want to do all of them. All right. Well, now 5 of you have just been gifted a membership. Yay. Um, Looks like Jana, Amy. Oh, Amy's here. I didn't know Amy was here. Anja, Pegasus, and Linda. Very good. So y'all got a free month subscription to the membership. Um, After your free month is up, you have the option of renewing it or upgrading it, depending on what you want to do. Um, this is all by um crap. Now I'm gonna forget the name again. Gothic is the only other name that's coming to my mind, and that's not right. So it'll have to do. When I remember, I'll send y'all emails in the middle of the night. So we got new members. We got Jana, Amy, Jean, Pegasus, and Linda Ramsey. Yay! And so it's kind of fun giving that away. I don't get to pick who gets it. It's random draw by the computer algorithm that YouTube uses. I just click, let me give a few memberships, and it does it automatically. And I don't know what metric they use to do that with, but that's how it works. So I am falling on my face. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready for bed. And tomorrow is the members reading. Yes. It's looking like so far everybody wants to show up for the first one. Just bear in mind that there's only so many slots, and when I run out, then you have to just wait until someone else jumps off, and then you can jump on. So, um, in the meantime, y'all have a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Let me take one more peek here in my book. Yeah, I'm supposed to do Drain the Swamp with Mel and Arthur this Monday, but I don't think Mel's gonna make it because he's had to leave state to go. His niece's husband passed away. Um, I will be back Wednesday night with Sisters of the Mystical Tarot at 8 p.m. And again, Golden Girls at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the rest of y'all got to get a town. They got a little app you can put on your desktop. That's called a oh, what the hell do they call it? Jesus, my memory is like just starting to scare me. Um, doop, 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 doop. I don't remember. Anyway, Mel's niece's husband passed away suddenly. Um, so y'all just hold him in your heart, please, and help those of us that are in the chat that had special needs that said something. Um, make sure you give them a thumbs up and tell them thank you. Hi, Teacher Barbara. We're signing out. I am cooked. I'm too pooped to pop at this point. Hi, Jean. So y'all get to come in and say hello, goodbye, just like the Beatles. You say hello and I say goodbye. Y'all have yourself a wonderful Christmas if I don't see you again before Christmas. I probably will because why am I grabbing that? That's the wrong thing. Go to my book. Yes, tomorrow afternoon is members meeting. So if you're a member, just remember to check the community tab. I'll put member messages there. And that's the only thing I have planned for tomorrow. So Monday's Draining the Swamp, Wednesday's Sisters of the Mystical Tarot, and I'll be hosting, so it'll be on my channel. Thursday is Golden Girls. That'll be on Cleo the Seer's channel. And then Friday is Polyterology at 6 p.m. That's on the Cool Crone. And I have an eye appointment at 2:30 in the afternoon. And as of 12:30 p.m. on Friday, I'm on vacation. Yay! So hoping to get a lot of stuff done while I'm off. And thank y'all for coming. Congrats to the new members. And Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. This was fun. Sorry I wound up getting the squiggles here at the end with my legs. Damn it. Drives me crazy. And I got that little purple pill, but when I take it, I know I've got approximately 15 minutes before I'm out for the count. It will knock me out in a hurry. Um, I'm going to try to do better about my schedule and posting it. Like maybe like every Sunday, post what's coming up for the following week. Um, I've been meaning to do it, and it's just been. We just wrapped up finals week at school this past week, and everybody gearing up to go home for the holidays, and it's just been nuts, absolutely nuts. So, but I'm going to try to do better. So, because I want to improve the perks for the membership so that it's actually worth your while to pay for it. Because even if you're gifted a free membership when your month is up, you'll get an email from YouTube asking you if you want to continue it or not. And of course, the choice is up to you. If you decide that you do want to continue it, you just um, click on the link. Whatever. Usually, they send you an email with a link in it, and then you can go in and pay for it. And I have two levels, $4.99, and you'll be a bebe turtle, and $9.99 you'll be a Cajun crawfish. So I even have my own emojis I made. Um, thank God for AI, right? Or that never would have happened because I can't draw. So, oh, hippie, I'm sorry to hear that. It's got to be hard. Your kids having to go away from you. Yeah, I get that. That's not cool. Oh, Gene, I think you can go in and update your email with within PayPal, because I know I had to do that. I had to go in because I've had my PayPal account since back when it first started. I was like probably in the first group of 500 that signed up for it. Um, just because I thought it was a good idea to have a third party kind of protecting you against a merchant. And of course, now you got hackers and stuff. You got to be even more careful. So, yeah, I believe you can go in and change your email and everything with PayPal. Um, without having to cancel anything or close anything. You should be able to just go in and do it. I just don't remember where on the website you would go to for that, but keep looking. It's the information's out there. I just don't have it yet. So, um, all right, y'all. Y'all have a great evening. I'm going fast. I'm sinking down. Um, yeah, Jack, you might have to do a different or an alternative type of PayPal, one for personal use, one for your business use, and then that way people will know to contact me on the newer email, the swamp lady at I don't know, whatever .com it is. Um and and I'm going to try to get better, and I'm going to try to start posting my stuff up. Like I said, we got some stuff coming up this week, and then it's freedom for 2 weeks. It's going to be a fast 2 weeks, too. All right. Y'all have a great evening. I'm going to go to bed now. And I will see y'all